Yeah, I mean, I guess Hassani, it looked like you guys were able to create some chances going forward, but it also looked like you guys were having trouble shutting down their counterattacks. What were the problems that you were noticing, and anything that you can diagnose from the game?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the game from the second half, I think that's a little bit of the nature of when you're chasing the game. Obviously, I think we could do a better job of probably regrouping, but I think that's one of their strengths is running in transition. Um, so yeah.
All right, next question. We'll go to Maz Vida. Maz, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hey, kind of the same vein. Snyder, when you came in, kind of what were the instructions and how did the game open up?
And the instructions were, ultimately like try and put the momentum, try and get a goal, but keeping possession most importantly because I felt like the more we keep possession, the less we have to run, the more they run, and ultimately it makes us less tired and able to get more chances. But I think with us keeping possession, we don't have to defend as much. So I think that was the main instruction and just making sure to stay collective with the group.
Thanks.
Nico Moreno, you are up next. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Hassani, I guess you were out there the longest. Just was wondering what the atmosphere was like in terms of playing the game. The altitude, the field. Like, did that anything have to do with maybe some of the struggles you had today against RSL?
Oh, you cut off a little bit at the end. Sorry.
Sorry, just wondering if the altitude, the field, anything about the surface you guys were playing on had anything to do with the struggles you had against RSL today.
I mean, the altitude's always tough, but we don't like to use that as an excuse. I think, really is the goal is change games, and they scored the first one, so they were able to have momentum after that. And I think we did a good job of, trying to find different solves. We had a couple of chances to end the half. And then they scored that second one pretty quick after halftime. And then I think that's when you saw them being a little bit more complacent and us really turning it on, which is what we should have done a little earlier in the game. So, yeah.
All right, Jada, let's go back to you, see if it works. Jada, not hearing anything on my end. I'm going to give it another 5 seconds. If it doesn't work, we'll move on. No worries. Okay, Felipe Makeda, you are up. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Question is for both of you guys. Against Real Salt Lake is a rivalry. It's not like with Portland, but how do you guys take that when you prepare for the game? It's been 15 years since Seattle Sounders hasn't won a game in that stadium. What can you guys say about that?
Oh, I think in MLS, if you look at it, most road games are hard. So, I mean, obviously the timeline for that is not great, but I think we look at it as any game away from home is pretty tough to play. But I think they took their chances and we didn't, and ultimately I think that's what the case of the result is.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I feel like obviously when you come to a place like RSL, it's obviously hard to play away with the altitude. But I feel like most importantly is keeping possession. I felt like, especially since like we haven't won here in 15 years, you start to think like, oh, what are some of the things we could change? But overall, it's just the little details. We kept most of the possession today, but ultimately we need to score goals. So I feel like if we as a team limit the mistakes we have, we can end up eventually winning here, I believe.
Okay, time for one or two follow-ups. Jeremiah, go ahead if you have one.
Uh, yeah, I guess this could be for Snyder. Cabral seemed to make a bunch of really good saves. I don't know. What does that do to the I don't know, the mentality of the team when the opposing goalkeeper is coming up big like he was?
I mean, obviously you could take it one way in terms of like, oh, like we're not scoring, but like I felt like the way the team was taking it was like we're almost there. Like we can almost score. We were getting their chances, just like it's the final piece that we were missing is just putting the ball in the back of the net. So if that Musafsi chance, if we're on side, or I placed it a little to the right, but it's just a little details. I felt like it wasn't really the keeper wasn't getting into our head. It was more of can we just make to the final play?
Maz, over to you.
Yeah, hey, Hassani, it's more of a coach question, but I'm sure I'll ask anyways. From like the 22-minute mark to about the 32, did they switch how many players were in the midfield? Because it seemed like that's when Guzzo started getting more room on the outside. Did I see that right or not?
No, I mean, I think he did mainly Gozo did a good job of coming inside and then trying to combine and use his athleticism to, exploit the open spaces. So I think that's what he was doing more in between that period. After a couple of times from that, we I think we adjusted pretty well. But yeah, that's all I would say on that one.
Thanks.